Well, hey, BIT. What's going on, you guys? I just came on here real quick to have a quick chat with you guys about a few different things, all right? So, yeah, make sure you're coming on in. Be sure to like the video if you have yet to do so. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel, all right? In addition to that, go ahead and hit on that notification bell and make sure all of the notifications are on so that you'll be up to date on the content, all right? Thank you so much. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some things, all right? Real quick, not gonna keep you long. First things first, y'all know I'm always talking about layoffs and things. And there was another company that came across my desk. So y'all know I gotta go ahead and I got to chat about them real quick because it looks like the Disney Channel is cutting, or I can't even say Disney Channel, right? I'm just going to say Disney as a whole because you got the Disney Channel, girl. You got Disney Plus, girl. You got the Disney Store. You got Disney World, girl. It's so many Disneys that's going on, all right? But what we're learning is that Disney is cutting about 7,000 jobs amid their massive company restructuring. Now, 7,000 is a lot, but then at the same time, as I compare it to how large the company is overall, it don't seem like it's a lot, but still, I'm thinking about 77,000 people who will be without a job and who, life finna change for them, like, and their families. So I'm thinking about a 7,000 inconvenience, shall I say, 7,000 people being inconvenienced from losing their jobs. But I'm not sure which sector they are going to be cutting from. Again, I don't know if they come from Disney World, if they come from Disney Plus, if they come from the Disney Channel, where the cuts are coming from. But they're saying Disney is laying off 7,000 employees this year as it scrambles to cut costs amid looming recession. All right. The layoffs came to light during Wednesday's earning call when Disney CEO announced that 3.2% of the company's workforce would be decreasing. Okay. The wave of layoffs will save roughly it will save roughly, girl, I can't. Girl, how much was these people making? Girl, what the hell was these folks making? They said the wave of layoffs will save roughly $5.5 billion. That's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of a whole lot of. Now, they go on to say, in addition to the job cuts, Disney announced that it would be restructuring into three business facets. Okay, you got Disney Entertainment, which will cover most of the streaming and media functions. Okay, ESPN, which is made of TV network and the ESPN Plus streaming platform, and Disney Parks, experiences and products unit, focusing on the amusement attractions. All right. Now, these many changes come as Disney works to increase revenue across the spectrum. Girl, I don't know. I feel like, girl, increase revenue. I guess. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to increase. That's a lot of revenue. $5.5 billion. Girl, what was the people making that had the 7,000? I mean, are you releasing higher ups, or how did this work? I'm just wow. Okay. So Disney Plus has incorporated cheaper ad supported tiers to attract new subscribers as streaming competition intensifies. Listen, these streaming apps are out of control, girl. It's so many apps. And I thought about it over the weekend and I was looking at my TV and I think I was on Apple Plus or something. I just got their trial to see what it's really giving and what's on there. And I was going through the app. I don't know if it was Apple or another app. And I was just like, oh my God, like it's so much content. Like it's so much. Like I wouldn't even know which one. Like I don't know what I'm like. What does Apple TV really give? I don't know. I don't know. I'm over here struggling with Paramount Plus because I just started watching Mayor of Kingstown. So I'm over here checking that out. And I'm just like, it's so much content. I still got to finish Real Housewives of Miami. I believe what the last episode. Still got to watch The Game. Like it's so many shows that I'm like, dang, girl, I ain't got enough hours in a day to watch everything that I really want to watch. So it's definitely competitive. I remember back in the day, I used to say, man, I wish that we didn't have to pay for like cable because I don't watch all of these channels. I wish I could only just pay for the channels that I'm actually interested in, which is like BET, I believe Fox at the time, because like Martin used to come on Fox or whatever. Some of the black shows used to come on Fox, ABC, Cinemax, Showtime. Like it used to be a few of those little networks. Like I think UPN. It was just a few things that I liked. And it's like, why we got to pay all this money for this when we could just choose whatever shows that we want? Well, at some point, I must not have been the only person saying it, thinking that, because obviously that's when they decided to create later on down the line all of these different streaming platforms. And girl, it can be overwhelming, girl. All right. And it's crazy because you paying individually for each streaming platform is likely going to equal up to what your dang old cable bill used to be anyway. But it's just how they designed it. It's how they set it up. But the good thing is, like, I guess when you go with like a Hulu, you're probably able to get, access to other streaming networks as well. So I don't think that's a bad thing, to go with a network or go with an app that's going to give you access to another network or something like that. But girl, it is what it is, honey. All in all, the layoffs are continuing to happen. I just wanted to put that in the atmosphere. I don't think like Disney's not a digital company, but it still is another company. I'm sorry, not digital, but it's not a tech company, but it's still another company that has laid somebody off. Because y'all know Microsoft did some layoffs, Google has done some layoffs. Amazon, who's not really tech, but they do kind of have that tech department as well with some of the things that they have going on, because it's not just Amazon selling things online. They have other things that they do. So they kind of got a tech portion to them. But either way, Amazon did some massive layoffs. And then now here we are with Disney. And it's crazy because it seems like if it's not coming every other week, it's coming at the top of every month. So I'm wondering who's going to be next in line for layoffs to happen. And I just really hate that. It'd be so sad to watch people over on TikTok, and they talk about how they've been looking for a job for like 6 months to a year and they have yet to find anything. And it's a lot of dummy opportunities out here, meaning fake opportunities, people making you think you have an opportunity, a job opportunity, submit it, probably even interviewing, and kind of find out the company ain't even real or whatever. So it's real sketchy out here. And I just really hate that. It's just crazy. Some of these people gonna have to uproot their life, move across the country just to get a job and be able to provide for their families. And some people ain't no telling what's gonna happen to them. Some folks, like, I really feel extremely bad for the people that don't have anybody to fall back on. I hear a lot of times, like, I was watching this one TikToker, I don't know his name, but I was just sitting there watching a series of his videos. And he was talking to a lot of homeless people. Like, some of them were veterans, yes, but a lot of them, he was asking, like, how did you get here? And the person was like, well, my mom and my dad died, or, my sister and brother died, my parents died a long time ago. And it's really that they don't have anybody that they can really fall back on in hopes of rebounding and getting back to where they need to be. So, it's really sad. I hope none of these people fall into that category at all, but you just never know when it's, a situation like this. So I really do hate that. All right. So there's that. Just wanted to talk about that real quick, like. So let's go ahead and let's move on to something else real quick, okay? Emmett Till's family, all right? So it looks like a relative of Emmett Till's has decided to file a lawsuit demanding that the sheriff arrest Carolyn Bryant Dunham. Now, this is the woman that pretty much falsely accused Emmett Till of whistling at her or doing something at her, which led to his death at some point. She lied on the boy to some other folks. Those folks went and sought him out, grabbed him out his home, and when I tell you they mutilated him, that's exactly what they did. Okay, child, let me tell you, that image of him being in that casket, it haunted me for such a long time, darling. Like, girl, I had to sleep with the light on, door locked, looking at the door. I was terrified. You feel what I'm saying? I think my baby was like 1. Girl, I was so shook because I never saw the images before. I think I could have been like 19, 20 when I first saw him. But anyway, very scary. All right. Really hate that. I even went to go to the museum that they have out there in DC. Beautiful museum. I went there and they have like this little gold casket for Emmett Till, but you don't see anything inside the casket. I think it may be a photo of him or something inside the casket, but it's not the mutilated one. I think it may just be like a regular image of him. Can't remember. But when I tell you, baby, I was not gonna walk in there because it's set up like it's a funeral procession. Like, you walking in to view the body type thing. And I don't think it had no pews. If it did, maybe it had 1 or 2. I can't remember. But I definitely remember the soft music that was playing, girl. Pictures and things on the wall, the Jet magazines and everything laid out, talking about Emmett Till's situation. You go into the room, everybody slowly taking their time. And it's really supposed to be a moment for you to just take time, reflect, seeing his situation, seeing how far we've come. And just, it's just, you're supposed to be in your head for a moment, right? And paying your respect to Emmett Till. But girl, I was too terrified. I said, bitch, I'm not going to knock her. You're not gonna say me in there. I had to ask my homegirl. I said, "Girl, what was in there?" Because if I go over there and I see the mutilated BIT, I'm falling out on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So, that's not what it was. Okay, but it was still nice though. It was a nice setup and everything. But back to the story. All right, they're saying in a federal lawsuit filed earlier this week, a family member of Emmett Till is demanding that LaFleur County Sheriff Ricky Banks serve an arrest warrant from 1955 on Carolyn Bryant Dunham for her role in the death of Emmett Till. Now, last year, a 5-member search group, including members of Till's family, found an unserved 1955 arrest warrant for her. I remember that story going around saying that there was an arrest warrant, but they just never did anything. I think they had to go like dig through some stuff, or I feel like the arrest warrant could have been in a pile of somewhere, like a pile of something, like done away with. But either way, I do remember them searching and I do remember them finding that, right? But it's crazy because I still would like for justice to be served. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm really not. I understand this lady is very old and she's almost, clapped out of here. But I feel like, I know, guys, this situation is completely different than a Bill Cosby, okay? Completely different, all right? I know Bill Cosby violated women, and this woman caused another man's death, a black man's death, right? I know they're different, but I feel like this. If they would not have gotten Bill at the age that they got him, and it was 20 years from now, I don't even know how old Bill is, but if Bill was 95 or even 90, I feel like they would have still came and got that man and arrested that man. Period. And he would have had to do his time. Same thing for Miss Ma'am. I know she almost clapped out, but may her last days be on lockdown. Do you feel what I'm saying? So go ahead and go snatch Miss Girl up. All right. And then turn around and sue the department. If you ask me, I don't know if the family ever sued. But if you can, Grace, probably so far out of the jurisdiction. But I'm like, go ahead and try and sue or get something because y'all had an arrest warrant and y'all violated y'all own law and did not follow through and get this woman arrested. The audacity. Like, yeah. We suing and we still want her ass locked up. Okay? Absolutely. Period. So they're saying that they pretty much give you the breakdown. So Emmett Till was 14 at the time, I'm believing, and Caroline was 20. And she done sat up there and made those accusations about that boy. Just sitting up there lying. And it looks like, so her husband and another person ended up snatching up Emmett Till and, unaliving Emmett. And I believe both of the men ended up being acquitted of his murder. Like, that is crazy. And I wouldn't be surprised if those men went there and actually admitted that they did do this and still got off. You feel what I'm saying? Like, absolutely ridiculous. Listen, I honestly feel like nothing is going to come of this. I don't see anything happening. I think that they're gonna have to just accept the L for what it is. But I would like to see her locked up. I don't care if she 99 going on 100. Not even gonna lie to you. Not gonna hold you at all. Because if the roles were reversed, her family will want the same type of justice. Period. Okay, so either way, ma'am. Good luck. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and let's move on. I want to see what Michael B. Jordan is talking about. Okay. Y'all know Michael B. Jordan dated Lori Harvey for maybe a year and a half, right? They recently broke up. Well, actually, I can't say recently. I feel like their breakup is coming up on a year. So it's getting close to a year of them not being together. And she has now been seen out and about with Damson Idris. And I think that's his name, Damson Idris. But they've been seen out and about, and people are speculating that they are indeed in a relationship together. And I have to say, I don't believe it at all. A lot of people speculated that Michael B. Jordan and Lori were in some type of contractual agreement, and I feel the same way about her and Damson. I do. I don't believe it. They don't look good together at all. I don't know. I got to look at more pictures and see. The verdict is still out on whether they make a good couple or not. But I really liked her and Michael B. Jordan. I'm not going to lie. All right. But she's over here trying to prance around with a new person. And some part of me was thinking, like, you know what? I would not be surprised if this is like a real relationship for them. And the whole time I'm thinking it's a scam because they just don't fit together. But he may just be her type of guy. Who knows, right? But I feel, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like Damson is really, Future wasn't like that either because she also dated Future. So I'm thinking that Damson really don't got that athletic build that she really likes, because she's also dated an NFL player. I think she was engaged to him and then called off the engagement or whatnot. She was seen dating different people. Then she dated Future or whatever. Then Michael B. Jordan. And so I'm like, I don't know what Future got up under that jacket. I honestly don't even know. I mean, he's probably built like Damson. I doubt Future really works out, but I don't know. He might have a slim basketball body. He might have an ab or two here or there. I don't know. I just feel like Damson ain't her type. But either way, let's talk about her and Michael B. Jordan, okay? Because he goes on to speak on his relationship, all right? Let's see. So they said a responsible king, Michael B. Jordan, got candid about finding love after his split from ex-girlfriend Lori Harvey. All right. He says, of course, I think about it, but I definitely want to try to be responsible with that, knowing how I want it to be as present as possible. So basically, Michael opened up about his relationship with Lori Harvey, or at least he opened up about the breakup that they had. Okay. So they broke up roughly about maybe a year, almost a year ago. Right. So the actor ended up having a sit down with Gayle King. Y'all know he has a movie coming out, Creed 3, with Jonathan Majors. And I definitely plan to be in the building. I think it's going to be so good. I think they're both phenomenal actors. And it's really going to be great. And I'm definitely going to tune in. But, when he opened up to talk about the breakup between he and Lori, he says, I think for me, it's just I was lucky enough to have a lot of work. I'm a firm believer in what's for you is for you. And coming out of that situation, not to give it any energy and kind of move from that. It was an experience for me to grow, and to learn. He says, I'm in my light right now. This is my Jordan year. And I mean that this is my year. Okay. So that's what he's saying. He's not trying to harp on what was. Okay. He don't want to talk about what was. Let's talk about what's now. All right. That's where Michael B. Jordan is with his situation. And, I feel like that was a very safe answer from Michael, because Michael, we know that whole relationship was fake, even though y'all was cute. And when he says something like, I think for me, it's just I was lucky enough to have a lot of work. I'm like, is that really healthy though? Like, I guess, sometimes we're forced to do it, right? I was just thinking, like, when you're going through a breakup, like, who wants to work? Like, because it only delays you having to like go through your emotions. But then I'm thinking about, and I'm looking at it from him being an actor, right? Because he got to learn these lines. He got to transform into a different character. So it's like, you may not deal with it now because you have to work, but 6 months from now, you probably will have to deal with that breakup that you didn't deal with. But then maybe he is dealing with it as he go throughout working and turning into a new character and all of that. Because when I think about us having to like work like corporate jobs or whatever, and we may suffer a breakup or whatever, it's like, girl, you still got to go to work and perform. Even if you don't want to perform, you still got to do what it is that you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he doesn't necessarily have that luxury of kind of putting off his feelings and, working, being a workaholic. But then I guess it just also depends on you as a person and what you can handle versus what you can't handle, right? I guess it just depends on, you as a person. But ultimately, I do think the answer was a safe answer for him to give. And I also think that they wasn't really in a relationship. So for him, it was better for him to just focus in on work and not have to be badgered with the questions of what's going on with you and Lori. Oh, what's up with Lori? Y'all broke up, and having to, fake the funk back to back to back to back to back. You feel what I'm saying? So now you're addressing this almost a year later because you are able to control it because you was over here busy working. You see what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. But anyway, girl, Michael B. Jordan decided to come to the front so that he can address and let the people know where he is, because right now he's still focused on himself. He did a lot of working, but he said this is his Jordan year. Now we know Creed 3 is coming out, but it also makes me wonder, what else you got up your sleeve, Michael? What other movies are you bringing out for the rest of the year? I do wonder. Okay. But either way, good luck. And we will be here waiting. We will be here waiting, especially if it includes your shirt being off. All right. So there's that. All right. There's that. And then lastly, I want to talk about Tami Roman of Basketball Wives. I was going to say Real Housewives of Atlanta, girl. We know that ain't it. Okay. Tammy would love to be over there on the Real Housewives. But Basketball Wives. All right. So y'all know Basketball Wives returned this week. All right. I'm thinking about tuning in. I don't know. I started watching it last season because I feel like this is the second half of this season. So I watched the first half of this season and I fell off because I just was not that interested. And you know what? Honestly, over the past few months, a lot of reality shows have not kept my interest. I used to review Love and Hip Hop, all of that. Not anymore. Doesn't keep my interest. And then they just stopped the one show that I do like, which was Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. That was my favorite one out of all of the franchises, and it's not even coming back. I don't care nothing about Miami. Don't care too much about the family reunions and none of that, or the couples retreat. So I'm just kind of like falling off of some of this some of the reality stuff. Okay, but we'll see. I might tune into it. I might tune into Basketball Wives. We'll see. All right. But either way, a lot of the people have been promoting Basketball Wives and its new return. And one of those people that actually was over here highlighting Basketball Wives happens to be Portia Williams' best friend, honey. That's right. Miss Shamea Morton, because she came to the front to say best friends at Basketball Wives is returning. And so I had to bring us back down memory lane by highlighting some iconic moments. Share your favorite and tune in for the premiere returning on February 13th, only on at VH1. So she must have posted a clip that included Tami Roman, because Tami Roman came to the front and said, bitch. No, ma'am. Now you're not finna do me. So Tammy says in all caps, "Bye, Shamia. Girl, do not imply I'm coming back or use clips of me to advertise the new season of a show I'm not on. You can, however, talk about hashtag the Miss Pat Show returning on February 23rd. Please and thank you. Now go away from me with this. Apollo. I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all Tammy would love to be a part of the Housewives? I told y'all that, right? So then Shamia says at Tami Roman, "I'm sorry, sis. You're just one of my faves. And when talking about the most iconic moments of this show, I figured I'd highlight you. But yes, everybody go and support the Miss Pat Show." All right. So that's what Miss Tammy and Miss Shamia was over there talking about. I love how Tammy had to slide in there real quick and check her like, "Girl, don't include me on this. Girl, I haven't left them behind me. Okay, get thee behind me, Satan. Don't add me in on that mess. Where I have been doing very great. I've been very successful without being attached to them. And it's not going to change now. Okay, leave me where I'm at." But I do understand where Shamia was coming from. She wanted to honor Tami Roman. However, at the same time, I think that you could do that, but not underneath it at the bottom. Try and sit up there and say, "Oh, tune into Basketball Wives." Because here's the gag. If you are going to use old images or old footage or whatever, clips of Tammy, I promise you, none of those ladies on that show currently are giving what Tami Roman gave. None of them. So I wouldn't even try to do nothing like that, because I already know they're not going to give, because that is implying that they're going to be on the same energy as Tammy. Like they're not Tammy. They're not going to give that. And then also, just knowing Tammy, knowing how she feels, knowing how she left Basketball Wives, where she stands with the owner, Shawnee, and other ladies of the show, dead. I think the only person she may really rock with is OG. So yeah, that's dead. I would not have dare posted Tammy on my page as a throwback and then thought that I was going to put in the comments and shout out a new season. Excuse me? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm so glad Tammy slid in there and checked her real quick. Period. So now, Shamia, I think you should create a separate post for the Miss Pat Show. I do. I think you should create a completely separate show. Shout out the Miss Pat Show, and don't just write it down there in the comments, because you owe my sis her big one. Period. Okay. So that's all that I got. I wanted to come and chit chat with you guys really, really quickly. Okay. I'm Jamie. That's me. Don't forget to like the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Okay. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.